Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel. It's your boy Amal and Chris. We're here today to give you the last matchup in the NFC for the divisional playoffs. Cowboys Niners, a repeat of, was it last year or 2 years ago? I feel like it was last year.
A couple years ago,
Yeah, 2 years ago, these teams faced off, I think, on Wild Card weekend.
Yeah.
Or the first. Yeah, and we were in for a great matchup. Niners were heavily underdogged for that game. I was able to flip that into plus 200. I might actually give Chris the link because I made a video. That's one of the videos we had on the channel when I put 200 on the Niners to beat the Cowboys and flipped a quick buck. But we're in for another great day.
Okay.
I do want to start off with some interesting news. Brock Purdy has won the heart of the 49ers faithful. It seems like he might be the starter going into next year.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of conversation off camera, Chris. You were really on the Brock Purdy train. I just couldn't believe that you spent 3 first rounds for a Trey Lance and then have him ride the bench.
But that's
Give
the
us
thing.
a little bit of your take.
You didn't plan on that happening. So you did what was the right move at that time. Who knows Jimmy G hurts his ankle? Who knows Trey Lance goes on IR? All we know is Brock Purdy showed up and didn't lose. So why would you switch that up? Like, you're about to go to a Super Bowl with a rookie who's hasn't what has he shown as a weakness so far? Like, what can you really pinpoint and exploit from him, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you said, you did give up a lot, but everything looks better in hindsight. They did what they were supposed to do as an organization. They secured their future, and it just so happens they might have secured it with Mr. Irrelevant. Like, it happens, you know?
Here's my take. If we are going to go forward with Brock Purdy, get Trey Lance out the building.
Not yet. In due time.
This is as high, in my opinion, even with the injury, this is one of the highest points of his value.
You're right.
If you do not move Trey Lance now, and you allow him to be a backup next year, and maybe start the year after that as a backup, you're finding yourself in a very tough spot. You have this year where Carolina needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
The Jets need a quarterback. Miami might be willing to do something to get him in the building. Tampa might be willing to do something to get him in the building.
But you can't commit to Brock
Saints might
Purdy
be able to get him.
like that. Like, you still need
But
Trey
you are.
Lance. You are. But it's like a process. He has to do this again for like the first 6-8 games. And then I think his job is like 100% secured. But like you said, they traded way too much for Trey Lance. But in the end, they wanted to trade picks to secure championships. So as long as those rings come, regardless, they win. Rather it be with Brock Purdy, it be with Trey Lance. But it is too soon to be like, okay, everyone off this boat, Purdy is driving ship because... 7 games now? 6? Like, I don't think it's enough to, like, fully commit.
You're saying that, but there's so many reports are coming out that he's named the starter next year. Don't you think
There's
that's
a difference between naming a starter? No, he definitely deserves being a starter next year. But to give him the keys fully and, like, cut all ties, nah, you can't do that. Because it's too soon, you know?
Anyway, we'll hop into that. I get where you're coming from. We'll hop into that in a later video. Maybe next week. When the Niners take care of business, yes, I'm calling the Niners taking care of business.
No problem.
Sorry, Trey.
Just bad timing.
Sorry, Cowboys faithful. I did give y'all credit for not really saying it's y'all's year. Dialing back a lot of that fandom, being a little bit more realistic. But I'm being realistic. And I know you guys got Micah Parsons over there, but we're looking at a guy like Nick Bosa for the Niners. And I know you guys have CeeDee Lamb over there, but we're looking at a guy like Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle on the other side, right? So, like, I just think the Niners' defense will be a little bit too much for the positional players of the Cowboys. I think Pollard will have a decent day. I think Zeke will be a good, thunder to Pollard's lightning. I think CeeDee's going to get off. But in terms of overall positional players and how they'll produce on the day, I think the Niners have a better core.
No, you're right, man. Concerned. Just break it down in simple terms.
That O-line for the Niners...
Yeah.
Which it's tough to say because the Cowboys always have a good O-line. But that O-line for the Niners, stupid.
Yeah, you forget about Elijah Mitchell too. He just came back. He's getting a little groove.
Yeah, he's getting in his groove a little bit. He had a rough first week of the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's just being able to throw him out there.
8 for 6 carries.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 carries for like 6 yards, which again, getting his legs under him. He had a good end to the season though, so they're going to get him involved again.
Yeah, I think he's going to be solid.
When you have Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah, I
I
mean
think you
CMC
keep
is
him on the field
CMC.
as often as possible
No,
because
you can't
you
though.
have an
It's
added
CMC.
receiver,
It's CMC.
and yeah, but
You can't. As much as you want
and
to
they're
and you would
still
love
using
to,
Debo in the running game.
can't. Exactly. I think with that healthy rotation of like 3 solid backs,
Yeah,
no shit to Jordan Mason. He's good, but this is the playoffs. Like Elijah Mitchell, can get solid numbers from him. CMC speaks for himself. It's just a matter of keeping or being efficient with CMC because you know what you can get, but the question is how much longer can we get this production from him? How do we maximize that? Not only in this playoffs, but like the next year as well. So this is why Elijah Mitchell is important. That's why Debo's carries are important. Like that's why he has to get a certain amount as receiver. He can't be in the primary backfield all the time. It's a science, but like once you understand the CMC equation, it's gonna be like you see Super Bowl, rings
yeah.
up
You have
here.
to give him breathers, but I do agree. They have the right weapons to make sure those guys get the breathers they need. So
Yes.
I'm really big on the Niners' performance this weekend. I would take the Niners money line. I think they are negative money, right? They're projected to win.
I take the Niners minus 16, honestly. No
You say you
question.
take the Niners minus 16?
Yeah. 16 and a half if you want to. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That's not too much. Because when you break it down, the 49ers defense is going to score pretty easily on the Cowboys defense. They do have Micah Parsons. I don't see him being too much of a factor. There's too many players on the field for him to do all that work. Flip on the other side of the ball, Dak's going to have a long day. Like Stephen A said it
Really?
last week a little too early. I just think with how they run their defense, they're going to make sure they give him the pressure he needs to fuck up. Which is like, okay, cool. Like, they're going to let everything come underneath. Like, CD's great in space, but they have the guys that can rally to the ball. So it's really me trusting more on Shanahan and exploiting Dak rather than, I don't even know who the OC is in Dallas, but, like, would he be able to out-chess Shanahan? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right? I just don't think so.
I'm not riding with the negative 16 and a half. I think that's a little bit blasphemous to the team that we watched last week. Granted,
That'd be the
this
8 to 9
Niners team-
Buccaneer team.
I was about to say this
Yeah.
team
Yeah.
did put work on that same Bucks team
Yeah.
at the end of the year. Like it's not anything new to them either. But I gotta believe Micah Parsons is gonna be able to have some kind of imprint on the game.
Yeah, okay.
Outside of Trevon Diggs, who has been, he's had a good year. He has corrected a lot of those ball hawking tendencies and kind of focused on coverage a little bit more. But I cannot name the Dallas Cowboys number 2 DB.
Damn, I used to know. See, that's the thing. Not even is
Yeah.
it something Brown
It's not to be
still?
disrespectful or anything.
Yeah, not to be
but,
disrespectful, but like you have a point. It's like besides
Like,
Diggs,
it's Debo and
like,
Ayuk, and then
then Kittle.
Vander
like-
Esch is okay, but I don't
like-
think he'll match up well with Kittle at all.
No, like, they're gonna find a way to exploit them. It's like it's just too many weapons. It really is.
Yeah,
Like
but
it take 3 men to stop CMC himself. It take 1.5 for Debo. You can't man up on Ayuk. You can't man up on Kittle. If you're gonna man up on Kittle, then you're gonna leave someone else open. Like it's just then. Oh, by the way, they have a top 5 offensive line with the best lineman in the league. It's just an equation. It's a disaster. It really. You have to catch them
Yeah.
on their worst day. I don't think that's this weekend.
me neither. This will be a defining factor in Purdy's future, because if he comes out here and kind of poops the bed, it kind of brings reason to pause. Like,
Oh, there's no reason to
bring Trey
pause.
Lance back in there?
If he
Right? So-
bucks up, it's going to be a QB battle in the offseason with ease. This is his job to lose. So if he loses the game, he's going to have to
wild
earn
to
it again.
say.
It's true, though, because like I said,
Yeah,
they
it
made
is.
that trade for championships. If those don't come, the job is open. If Brock Purdy can do that, it's his. If he can't, Lance got to get a shot. It's just business.
That's a fair point. Since this is the last prediction vid of the weekend, you want to drop the parlay that you're feeling at the back end? So it's on
I ain't
tape.
even cooked it
What you
yet,
feeling?
man. See, I've been in the
I know,
NBA
but what
bag
you feeling?
lately. Okay, so right now, you're not going to like this. This is what I was thinking earlier today. I think
Okay.
the safest lay is going to be Chiefs. As much as I love betting against the Chiefs, I've learned my lesson. They always find a way. The Jags are nice, but the Chiefs are magical. Unless it's the
clipping
Bengals.
this again next week.
Unless it's the Bengals. Okay.
I'll
After
be
that,
clipping this again next week.
I got Philly over Giants. Okay. I might even take the alternate spread, just a touchdown, -6.5. But straight up, even better. And then 49ers. I think you can't lose with those three. If you want to spice it up, who motherfucking day, ride the Bengals. It's going to be the best game of the week. You might have a heart attack at 4:53 when that last touchdown dropped with Chase in the corner, but it is what it is. It will happen how it needs to. This is not financial advice, but that is what I'm riding. So, I'm pretty confident.
I cooked mine up a couple days ago. I haven't put it in yet. For that Chiefs-Jags game, I'm leaning away from my heart and leaning into these teams are going to be throwing that thing.
Yeah.
So I have over 53 points for that game. Okay. I don't care who wins in terms of betting wise.
I think that's safe.
Over on the points per game. And then we ride into the Giants and Eagles. And I like the Eagles money line, even though it's pretty bloated. Yeah. I just think Jalen Hurts, that offensive line, lean on the Giants. They don't have enough weapons to compete. If you really want to get spicy and just avoid the game, give me Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown.
Yeah.
He going to rush free. I like that. If you want to get really spicy, give me both quarterbacks rushing touchdowns. But I'm not going to do that. Nah. I'm just going to take the Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. But the lay right now is 53 over. Eagles money line. Mm-hmm. Then we go into the next day. I'm taking Niners money line. And who day? Give me Bengals money line. So over 53 points. Okay. Eagles money line. Who day? Niners money line. I don't know what the plus money on that is, but I'll tell y'all after I cash it. So that's what I'm feeling for this weekend. That's what I'm feeling for this weekend. And in true Kick and Post fashion, we will be back after the divisional playoffs to give our take on both conference finals, when it will be Jags versus Bengals in Cincy, and it will be Eagles versus Niners in Philly, right? Yeah. In Philly.
Yeah, Philly got the one.
Yeah. So, you heard it here first. That's what we're going to be rocking with next week. Any closing thoughts, Chris?
Why not us?
I like it. Why not us?
No, I'm tired of that shit. Ain't no why not us. It is us. It's been us. Oh. Who they? Bengals, you know by now. Like, I shouldn't even be asking y'all. We ran the table last year. It was lucky, and now we back. So,
hey man, teams of destiny. That's all I gotta say. Yes, Third biggest comeback in NFL playoff history. There's a reason. We're not gonna waste it.
Yes. And also to you Cowboys fans,
we're not gonna spot them 27.
Great season.
We're not gonna spot them 27 this week either.
-16.5 though. Great season. -16.5.
-16.5. Hey, you better hope, man, or you gonna get a lot of flack from Trey if this one fails.
I mean, they can't. Either way, it's an L. Unless they win, my DMs are open. I deserve it. But 16.5 though. Remember that.
Hey, I'll drop his @ in the description. Thank y'all for tuning in to this Kick and Post video. Thank y'all for the continued support, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.